Morning, this is Olivia. Nancy?
I think in the end, like it still depends on the teacher, yeah. And he was very good, and my friend goes to him all the time. So like I knew that it would be okay. And yeah, I mean, it feels good to get all that out of your body. It doesn't take me much to sweat. So yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the theory. I don't think they've ever done any scientific. Yeah. I don't think there's any scientific evidence. Their belief is. Yeah. All right. Light honor. I know. Everybody sign in? Yes. All right, how are we feeling this morning? Good. Good. Any areas of the body you want to offer up to work on? The whole thing. Yeah. Right? Yeah, I know. Can this be an hour and a half class? All right. So, woo, January 22nd. Right? Crazy. So it's not it's a challenge for me to sometimes speak personally. Today, I usually face with dread. My mom passed away 25 years ago today. Yes, no. It's I took myself on a little R&R, little mini escape this weekend. It's always good to do self-care. Always. This is self-care. And it's a journey. I mean, everybody's lost someone. So we can all, it's very relatable. And yoga found me when my mom passed. And this practice has been my way to process. And the teachings, the ancient teachings, are pretty amazing and powerful. All the little things that I've shared with you over the years, ahimsa, there's non-attachment, corpse pose. Corpse pose was designed to teach us how to die. Sounds morbid, I know, but it's not. That's not, because when you have that essence of being able to release and let go, it's almost like we all have that fear of falling. So in Shavasana, in corpse pose, if you really, really, really let go, you're facing that fear of falling. But you realize you're supported. And anyway, it's there's so many lessons. So I really woke up this morning, and we lit in Jewish faith, there's a yahrzeit candle, memorial candle you light. So did that with my kids. They never met her. My husband never met her. And I just was really overcome with, there's no dread. It's just a celebration. I wouldn't be here to share the blessings with all of you, the teachings with all of you, if it weren't for her. And she was pretty amazing. She was a rock star. And I found this teaching, this ancient teaching from, there's the Yoga Sutras, And in yoga, there's also the Bhagavad Gita. And one of the teachings, I just thought, yep, this is it. The soul is indestructible. It can't be destroyed by the elements of earth or weapons or by water, fire, and air. Therefore, it is absolute ignorance to lament for. Right? Really? I mean, these people, and we're so blessed that part of grieving is realizing how much we love that person, that soul. So there's, it's all about celebrating them. So I celebrate her with all of you. I also found, I don't know where they were. My mom auditioned. She was invited to audition for the Rockettes when she was 18 and 20 years old. And I found the papers last night of these invitations. And yeah, she was a dance. So to say that it is awe-inspiring to be leading this practice, because she led dance and movement her whole life. So this is just another form. So I am honored. It is truly an honor every time I'm up here in front of you. And I thank you, bottom of my heart, for letting me share this practice with you all. So yeah.
We love your soul too.
Thank you. Well, then you would have loved her. So, and her name was Janet. So with that said, let's move a little bit, because it is with the asana practice. There's, we learn breath work, we learn meditation, but the asana practice, the physical movement, any movement you do, and she believed that movement was critical. You have to move. She worked with Alzheimer's patients in the last decade of her life, and the magic, that connection of movement and music, because she was also a lover of all things 1940s. She was born in 1940, but loved Nat King Cole and Ella Fitzgerald and all of that music. And she would play that music for Alzheimer's patients, and it brought him out. It brought him, connected with them. So movement, it connects with our nervous system in a way to lead us to be able to accept Shavasana at the end of the practice, to then be still and feel the effects of moving the body. So, as I tell you all the time, it's not how deep you go. I mean, everybody's at a different level here. It's your practice. It's what you want to connect with, and to listen, be able to use it as a vehicle to listen and release. If you store grief, if you store trauma, if you store, it shows up as physical ailment. It really does. And when we're in Warrior Two, when we're in any poses, and there's that moment of discomfort or that negative self-talk, like, I can't hold this, I can't do this. And let yourself ungrip. It's amazing when you, like, I did this hot yoga class yesterday. I don't do hot yoga. and there were moments that, I got pushed, and when you just let yourself ungrip in a pose and just soften and connect with your breath, it's that moment, that's the magic of yoga, of the practice. So let's start in child's pose. Let's start in child's pose this morning. And in child's pose, take a look up here for a moment. I'm gonna ask you to bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra in prayer, and bring them behind your head like that. We're not gonna do it right away, but when I cue it, it's gonna look like this. And it's a beautiful way to set our intention as we with Mother Earth this morning. So separate your knees wide, bring your toes to touch, Drop your seat to your heels, settle in. It might take you a couple times, maybe a little rocking from side to side. You're welcome to use a block over the or under the forehead if you need to, and just start to let the chest fall toward the earth. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Sigh it out. Ha it out through the mouth. Take another deep inhale and sigh. And then begin to breathe through the nose, inhaling and exhaling through the nose, and feel your breath, that vibration start to resonate in the body, start to expand the rib cage, really feeling the breath move toward these intercostal muscles that surround our rib cage. And when we breathe space into these intercostal muscles, we then bring oxygen, we're oxygenating them, and then we're helping our lungs, the health of our lungs. And with the arms extended, just straighten your arms and come up on your fingertips. Lift your wrists off the mat and just feel that extension in the arms for a moment, another breath or two. Feeling maybe an opening in the shoulders and the upper back, and then drop down again, and then bring those palms together and bend at the elbows, bringing the hands behind the head. In this Anjali Mudra. And offer up some gratitude here for the support of the earth beneath us, for the air that we're able to breathe, for this beautiful body that we call home, that we nurture and take care of, work every day to take care of it. And extend love and compassion towards yourself here. Beautiful, humbling pose. Set your intention for your practice. Finding one area of the body that you feel is gripping or you're grasping, and see if you can soften into that space in the body just a little bit more and release that gripping. Take one more full breath in and release, exhale it out. And then start to lift up halfway, rocking up and then walking the fingertips over to the left, reaching out with that right arm to breathe into this right side. The right fingertips reaching a little further, but that right sits bone reaching toward the heel still. Getting a little deeper into this right side and starting to notice sensations, how this right side feels this morning. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, lifting up and coming through center. Come up on those fingertips and then walk yourself over to the right. Let yourself drop down, reaching through the left fingertips. Soften the neck. Inhale, lifting up to center, and then rocking up onto the knees. Tuck your toes under. Spread your toes so you feel all 10 toes on the mat. And either coming up on the knees, leaning back a little bit to feel that stretch for your feet, your arches, your toes, or sitting back on your heels. Float the arms up in front of you, cross right elbow over left, and bend at the elbows, backs of the hands touch. If this is feeling just like the shoulders are a little too tight for this, you can reach your arms toward your shoulder blades. Give yourself a little hug here. If it's comfortable enough to have the elbows resting in each other, draw the shoulder blades back and then down. And then start to lift the elbows up a little bit. And then release. Come the other way, crossing left elbow under right, backs of hands touch, or reach for the shoulder blades. Draw the shoulders toward each other in the back and down. One more breath in. And release and rock forward to tabletop and tap out the tops of your feet. Draw the belly in. And then grab, everybody get 2 blocks. Maybe get around. Grab those 1 block, place it between your ankles. So you've got the length of the block to support your sits bones. Place the second block if you need it. If your knees need that extra lift to be able to come to hero's pose. Virasana. Sitting up nice and tall, bring your hands to your heart center and just to Om here to open the practice. So 3 Oms this morning. Talked about it a little bit last week. Om creates a vibration in the body, resonating out, connecting all of our energies together. And after we Om the 3rd time, we'll just be quiet for a few breaths so you can feel the sensations of that Om, the silent part of the Om. Take a full inhale and exhale it out. Moving into a little pranayama this morning. It's called alternate nostril breathing. Lower your left hand, back of the hand, to your left thigh and bring your index finger to lightly touch the thumb. Your 3rd, 4th, 5th fingers extend. Take your right hand. You're going to use your thumb and your index finger. The tips of your 2nd and 3rd fingers will either rest against your 3rd eye, that space in between your eyebrows connecting with your intuition, or they can drop down, whichever is more comfortable for you. And then we start by closing the right nostril with our thumb. Take an inhale through the left nostril, and when you get to the top of the breath, hold. switch, ring finger closes left nostril, open the right nostril, and exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. When you get to the top, pause as you close the right nostril, opening the left, and exhale left. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale right, 2, 3, 4, inhale right, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, inhale left, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale right, 2, 3, 4, inhale right, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale left, 2, 3, 4. One more round. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale right, 2, 3, 4, inhale right, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, release the right hand down, same as the left. Inhale through both nostrils and exhale through both nostrils, and take a moment here to just feel, notice, observe. Alternate nostril breathing helps balance our right and left brain, which then helps with balancing our left and right sides of the body. Connects with our nervous system to help the whirlings slow, with focusing, a deep focus on following that breathing, noticing inhale, holding, and exhale. Thoughts of the to-do list or a phone call you have to make or a conversation seems to slip away and become fully present, which is what we really strive for in the yoga practice. Flickering the eyes open, rock forward to tabletop and start to inhale into cow pose and exhale into cat, remembering the movement comes from moving our pelvic area. So tilting the tailbone up, and that lengthens the spine, opening the chest. And then we tuck our tailbone under, and that leads our back to round. We look at our navel. Inhale, so only moving the pelvic area. So the shoulders don't move, the arms don't move. Exhaling into cat. Taking the movements as big as you want to, or just real small, maybe micro today. And then coming back to neutral, take a big circle around to the right, push the seat to your heels, bringing your circle around to the left. One more time, this direction. Just getting it all warmed up, reverse that circle. And then
coming back to center and dropping down to your forearms. Interlace your fingers and then step your feet back one at a time. Just tucking under, the hips drop. So we're coming into our forearm plank. Your elbows are directly under your shoulders. You're pressing your forearms into the mat and igniting that core strength. Take a full inhale. And then exhale, start to drop the pubic bone to the mat. The thighs fall, tops of the feet come to the mat, and then take your forearms down to the mat. Fingers are spread, and your elbows in front of your shoulders now. Wrap your fingers around your elbows just to make sure that the elbows aren't out too far. Coming into Sphinx pose. Separating the legs a comfortable distance apart so you don't feel any tension in the low back. All you're feeling here is your glutes starting to engage. Your thighs pressing into the mat. Your pubic bone turning toward the mat, and the chest, the spine getting that same extension that we get in cow pose. Chest opening and lifting the shoulders, drawing away from the ears. The gaze is looking ahead of your fingers so that the neck, the cervical spine is open. Draw the chin back a little bit to create even more opening in the neck. One more, press energetically into the forearms and draw them back a little bit to feel maybe even more opening across the heart space. One more breath in, and then exhale. Stack your hands so you're making a pillow for your forehead. Elbows coming out a little wider toward the edges of your mat, and then bend your knees and drop the feet over to the right. Inhale through center, exhale them over to the left. Inhale through center, over to the right. One more time, windshield them over to the left. And over to the right. And then to center, drop those legs down and extend your arms. I think everybody's got enough room. Maybe extend your arms out to the sides, palms face down. Bring your right hand into your chest. Extend the left arm out a little bit more as you roll yourself onto the left side of your body, stacking the feet. And that left arm has to extend a little bit more to allow the head to drop down. So we're getting nice, beautiful opening here. Flex your feet and push through your heels to lengthen out through the legs. That right hand is in by the chest, helping to support you as you balance on the left side of your body. Keep the feet active, keep them flexed, push through heels. Breathing into this left shoulder, let it rest against the floor. One more breath in. And then exhale, rolling onto the belly. Extend that right arm out, bring the left hand into your chest, extending that right arm out a little bit more as you press into the left hand. Roll yourself on the right side of the body. Stacking the legs, stack the feet, flex the feet, push through the heels, the head just resting on the floor and finding a deep opening, deep stretch for this right shoulder. Push through those heels a little bit more. One more breath in. And then exhale, rolling back onto the belly. Bring hands under shoulders. So we're pushing, we're able to push ourselves up to tabletop. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees and shins, and then push back into this kind of child's pose squat. Your belly resting on the thighs. So little strength here, little arm strength.
heat building in the arms. Slowly straighten the legs. Keep pressing back, downward facing dog. And then drop the right heel, bending the left knee. Alternate, drop left heel, bend right knee. And just move like that, pedaling out your downward dog, taking your dog for a walk. But continuing to feel that extension in the shoulder, in the arms, and in the spine. The head in between the arms, gaze is at the knees, and then find stillness in the legs and lift the heels up high. Come up high on your toes and the balls of your feet, and then bend your knees. Widen the sits bones, widen the space in between the sits bones. Then straighten the legs again. Let the heels drop to a comfortable place. Rock yourself forward to high plank. Drop the knees down. And then bring your blocks under your hands at the middle height. You're coming into tabletop with your hands on the blocks. Are there more blocks? Here, you can have one of my pop-ups. You're welcome, of course. To the same height. So you've got your hands on your blocks. Extend your right leg back and then hug the right knee in your chest and step it in between those blocks. And lift up fingertips on the blocks, deepen the bend in that right knee, sinking into this left quad a little bit deeper. Don't forget to breathe. And then shift your hips, put your arms overhead by your ears. Anjaneyasana, press into the right foot, bottom of the right foot. Press into the top of the left foot. Hands to heart center, twisting open to the right, and then lean the body forward. Keep that long spine. Hook left elbow with right knee and press, actively press the palms together. The gaze looking at that right elbow. One more breath in. Finding stability here by drawing hips towards your midline. Keep pressing, rooting down through that right foot, and then bring hands to center. Flip the arms up and then draw the elbows down. Cactus arms, bringing the elbows, the arms out of your peripheral vision. The chest opening. See if you can draw your shoulder blades toward each other and down the back. One more breath in and then exhale, hands to your blocks and step that right knee back to meet the left. Inhale, rock it out in cow. And exhale into cat. Come to neutral, extend your left leg back. Draw the knee in as you step that left foot in between the blocks. Come up, fingertips on the blocks, deepen the bend in that left knee. Getting into this left hip, this right quad, then shift the hips. So your shoulders are over your hips, arms float up to the ears, and we press into the sole of that left foot, the top of the right foot, hands to heart center, we twist to the left. Then lean the body forward. So keeping that long spine, press palms together. So you're actively feeling that contraction in the arms and an opening in the heart space. Squeeze the hips toward the midline. Look at your left elbow. One more breath in. And out, hands coming to heart center, float them up. Cactus arms, so bending the elbows at a 90-degree angle, draw them back. Really feel that opening in the heart space and drawing shoulders away from ears. Inhale the arms up, sweep them down to the block, and then bring that left knee back to meet the right, and move the blocks to the side. Tuck the toes under, lift the shins off the mat, push back to that child's pose, squat, straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out, and then walk up. So press, try and flex your feet as you walk up. So you're gorillas, like you're a gorilla walk. So you feel that stretch in the backs of the legs as you walk up, and then inhale to a half lift. Everybody's fingers are going to end up somewhere different depending on your height, but you want to try and find a flat back. So you want to try and take any rounding out of the back. So your head's going to lift a little bit, but the gaze stays looking down. Flat back. Need some core engagement to find that flat back where you can feel that lengthening. Draw the navel in toward the spine and zip it up. And now soften the knees. Lift the arms out to the sides as we straighten the legs and lift the arms overhead. Palms touch, drawn down to the heart center. And find mountain pose, Tadasana. Rock a little bit. Feel the weight in your heels. Rock forward to feel the weight in the balls of your feet. Rock back. Rock forward and then settle. And your body weight should naturally be falling toward the heels, allowing you to lengthen down through the low back. The energy moving up the spine, drawing the head back a little bit so your ear lobes are more in line with your shoulders. And then inhale the arms overhead and exhale. Start to hinge forward, coming to that flat back. And then continue. See if you can keep drawing the belly toward the thighs. Maybe hands rest on a block, bring the earth to you. Forward, fold. And then bend the knees a lot. Let the head drop. Hang like a Raggedy Ann doll. And inhale as you roll. One vertebrae at a time. Up to stand. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. We're going to dive forward again. Lead with the heart. Hinging at the hips. Come to that flat back. And then you choose if you want to take it deeper, bringing belly, low belly toward the thighs, forward fold. And then we'll bend those knees again, but this time lift to chair pose. So instead of rolling up, bend the knees and let your seat come towards your heels. Let the weight really fall into your heels, like you can wiggle your toes. And then lift the upper body a little bit so your belly comes off your thighs. Maybe hands start at heart center or at the hips, or maybe they float up by the ears. Tuck your tailbone a little bit to lengthen the spine. Believe that your thighs have the power and strength to hold you in this seat as if you're sitting in an imaginary chair. And then inhale, straighten the legs. Reach the arms up. Little arch to the upper back. Hands to heart center. Tadasana. Breathe in. One more breath. take your right leg back. Heel lifted. Bend the left knee, finding our high lunge. So as you can see in this practice, we use the strength of our feet a lot. You want to lift that right heel. Straighten that right leg. Your hips are facing forward. Inhale the arms up. Little strength building here. Start to lower that right knee toward the mat, but don't let it touch. And then lift back up and straighten that right leg. Take an inhale. And exhale, knee drops toward the earth. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, drop down toward the earth. Inhale, straighten. And then we're gonna spiral that heel down and open the hips to this exit wall for warrior two. So back leg really straight and press into the outer edge of that back foot. And left knee bending toward a 90-degree angle. Check in with your left knee, look down at it. If it's bowing in, energetically draw it toward your pinky toe. Beautiful. Left toes are facing the mirror. Spine perpendicular to the floor. So we're not leaning in to this warrior two. Our shoulders are stacking with hips. Inhale, straighten that left leg. Drop the right hand down. Flip your left palm up. And reach that arm up. Exalted warrior. Breathing into this left side. And then come back to arms at a reaching in warrior two arms, and we're shifting into triangle pose. So you might want to block for this. Reach down and put your block at the highest height on the inside of that left foot. Kind of on the inside of the left ankle and shin. Straighten both legs, arms reaching in opposite directions, and then I want you to reach the left fingers forward toward the mirror. Get that length, then drop your left hand to the top of the block and reach your right arm straight up. Triangle pose. This is a perfect pose to illustrate that it's not how deep you go in this. It's more important to focus on the left. So we're opening the right chest to the sky and the right hip. Breathe in. If you lower, you might compromise, and where your right chest starts to drop toward the floor. And then inhale to lift back up. Bend the left knee, warrior two. Now extended side angle, keeping the left knee bent. Make sure it's not bowing in. Keep it toward that pinky toe. Drop your left hand to that block again. This time, instead of the right arm reaching straight up, bring it toward the right ear, overhead. You got to deepen the bend in that left knee. Deepen the bend in the left knee. Don't collapse down. You're still opening the chest to the wall. And that right hip is still spiraling open. The left knee bending. Really trying to get that full extension in right leg. And the left knee bending toward a 90-degree angle. And now take the right hand down to the mat. Pivot that back foot And we're gonna come into a deep stretch for our hips. It's called lizard pose. Take your left hand on the inside of your left foot and heel toe that left foot to the left edge of your mat. And then palms to the mat or your blocks, straight arms, that right leg straight to start. And just start to sink to the inside of this left knee a little bit. So you can stay here. This is extended lizard. And you might feel that this is a perfect place to stay. Or you may want to drop that right knee down. Dropping that knee down brings you lower and intensifies the stretch a little bit. You can still have the block under the hands with the chest lifted like this. Or you can lower to your elbows and forearms inside that left knee. Different schools of thought. A lot of instructors believe that left knee should hug the left arm. There's some other schools of thought where if you turn your left toes out a little bit, you create some space there. Think whatever feels better for the body, whichever feels more comfortable, where your breath is more at ease. And then inhale to start lifting up, hands to the mat, tuck your right toes under, and we're gonna lift that right knee up. We're gonna keep lifting your hips, lift them up, and then sweep your left leg back and lift it up. Three-legged dog, releasing those hips. Rotate your foot around one direction and then the other, getting into that ankle a little bit. Drop that left foot down, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Look between your hands and walk those feet back up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Yogi's choice to come stand. You can bend your knees a lot, roll up, or you can lift up. Take the arms out to the sides, lift with a flat back, come to stand. Lower the hands to heart center, Tadasana. And take a moment to reset here in Tadasana because we have to do the other side. We balanced the mind before with alternate nostril breathing. So we're going to balance the body up. Hands to hips, you're going to take that left foot back. Start in high lunge. So that left heel is lifted, right knee bending toward a 90-degree angle. Just settle here for a moment. Arms come up by the ears. Take an inhale. On your exhale, drop that left knee down toward the mat. Don't let it touch. And exhale, lower down. And straighten. Exhale, lower you down. Inhale, coming back up one more time. Lower that knee. Straighten and then drop that heel down. Finding warrior two, open your hips to the TV wall. Check in with your right knee. You want it energetically moving toward the pinky toe and not bowing in. Your gaze strong out over your right fingertips. And draw the shoulder blades toward each other and down the back. Release any gripping. One more breath in. And out, straighten that right leg. Drop your left hand down, flip your right palm. Reach that right arm up. Right fingertips exalted. Peaceful warrior. In Sanskrit, peace is Shanti. So sometimes it's beautiful to just repeat Shanti, Shanti, Shanti in this pose. And then we come back So arms float down. Notice your right leg is still straight. And then shift your left hip a little bit and reach the right fingertips to the mirrors. Reach, 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 reach. Then block is on the inside of the right ankle. Right hand drops to the block, left arm reaches up. It's better to get the opening in the hip and the opening in the chest than to go deeper. So use that block, straightening both legs. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then inhale to lift up, warrior two. So bending that right knee, and then we're gonna drop the hand back to the block. So extended side angle, take that left arm, your chest and your hips still open, right knee bending, left arm comes close to the ear. So creating a line of energy from the outside of that left foot all the way through the fingertips. That right hand. Use that right hand so you can deepen the right knee. Sink the pelvic floor toward the mat a little bit more. And then spiral that left hand down to the mat. Block stays right where it is. Heel toe your right foot to the right edge of your mat. Right hand comes to the inside of that right foot. Extended lizard. This might be where you stay. Breathing into the length of, really feel it from this hip through that left leg, or option to drop that left knee down. If you want to really lift the chest a little higher, your hands can be on blocks with arms fully extended. To deepen the stretch for the hips is when we lower to elbows, forearms. Full breath in. And next inhale, you start to lift up and straighten that left leg, tuck the toes under and lift it up. Keep lifting, lifting, lifting so that you can sweep that right leg back. Sweep it up, three-legged dog. Roll that foot out, roll that right ankle out. Lower that right foot, drop the knees. Sit on your heels and then shift off to your left hip and swing those legs around. And let's lower all the way onto our backs. Grab your block and bring it inside your thighs. One block. You're on the mat, setting up for bridge pose. Walk your feet back so that you can lightly graze, just that you feel like you could almost touch your heels. And then turn your toes slightly in toward each other. Let the thighs engage with the block. So feel like your thighs are squeezing the block. So the block needs to be toward the pubic bone and not in between the knees. You don't want to press the knees into the block. And then on your next inhale, lift the hips just a little bit. And then lengthen down through your low back. And then continue to lift the hips up higher, pressing into the feet. Working with your glutes here The muscles in your butt are engaged. The thighs are engaged, helping to find that natural extension of the spine. Try and lift your chest towards your chin, keeping the gaze and the nose facing the ceiling. One more breath in, maybe lift the hips just a little bit higher, and then exhale, lower one vertebrae at a time. And let's take that block now and slide it under the sacrum for supported bridge. So you can choose, depending on how high you lift it, either put it at the lowest or maybe turn it to the middle height. If it's the middle height, make sure that the long edge of the block is under your sacrum. And let your body weight sink into the block at whichever height. And the block is under the sacrum, under the bony part. So keeping the knees in line with the hips. More breath in. And then press into your feet, lift the hips, take that block out from under you. And one vertebrae at a time, drop down to the mat. Hug to your chest, rock a little bit from side to side. Hug the right knee into your chest, extend your left leg out long onto the mat. Guide your right knee over to the left, rolling onto the left side of your body, coming into a spinal twist here. Let the right arm extend out from the shoulders. Your left fingers resting on top of the right knee, just settling into this spinal twist. Let your left leg go soft and effortless. Inhale back to center, draw the left knee in, neutralize. Take one inhale where you lift your forehead up to your knees. Lengthen through the cervical spine. Exhale, lowering the head, extend your right leg out long. Guide your left knee over to the right, rolling onto the right side of the body. Left arm extending out. With each inhale and exhale, softening into this twist. Making the right leg effortless now. Softening the left shoulder, the neck muscles. Inhale back to center. Hug the knees into your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side. One more time, lifting the forehead up to the knees, and I want you to scrunch everything hard. So make fists, tighten your toes, tighten your face, scrunch it all up. Release it all. Let the arms come alongside, moving away from the body, a comfortable distance. Extend your legs out long and flex your feet and push through your heels to lengthen out through the legs, to lengthen out through the hip joints. And then let the hips lift just a little bit so that you lengthen down. The arms out to the sides a little bit. Press into the backs of the arms. Lift the chest. Glide your shoulder blades under. And then let the backside settle. And flipping the palms up helps to externally rotate the shoulders. Let the eyes softly close. Take an inhale through the nose, sigh it out through the mouth. Introducing the word Shakti to you. Shakti means power in Sanskrit and is also used to describe feminine energy and life force energy. In celebration of an all-female class today. Breathing in our beautiful Shakti, beautiful feminine energy. Feeling all the effects of your physical practice today coming to light here in corpse pose in Shavasana. Breathing into that beautiful balance. In our bodies, in our minds. Slow, mindful breaths. Activate the parasympathetic
nervous system. When the breath slows, this part of our nervous system helps to slow our heart, to send a relaxing message to the nerves, inspiring a rest and digest response. As if the earth has risen up to hold us. Be softer with you. You are a breathing thing, a memory to someone, a home to a life. Nayira Wahid. Slowly start to deepen your inhales and exhales. Wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, encircling wrists and ankles. Maybe floating the arms overhead on an inhale to stretch it out long, feel that natural arch form in the back, and then hug knees into your chest and roll onto your right side. Extend your right arm out to support your head. And then slowly press into your hands, your arm to lift yourself up, finding a comfortable seat, inviting yourself up. Soften the gaze or close the eyes. Soft bow of the head toward your heart. Thank yourself. I thank you. Breathe in gratitude and some self-care, some self-love. Closing the practice with the sound of Om. Take a full inhale, sigh it out. Wishing you all a better day. Namaste. Thank you all. And our friends at home, I think that's Olivia, and I don't know who else joined us, but somebody.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Olivia.
Great, thanks.
Glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining us.
And you'll be next week or the following week, 9:30?
So you mean tomorrow's class?
Or no, next Mondays or the following Monday, you said 9:30?
No, Mondays are staying at 9, and then starting with so February the 1st is Thursday. So then the Tuesday after. The first Tuesday of February, my Tuesday class will be 9:30 instead of 10.
Oh, super.
No, this Monday will stay at 9 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks. Have a good day.
You too. And who's our other friend online? I just see iPhone. Hello. Okay. Bye, whoever you are.